I'm bored.
You want to paint something?
No.
Why not?
Paint's hard.
How about markers?
Ooh, I got markers.
Let's give it a go. Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Festa. Old Big Mick here, along with #1 Grot. And yeah, we are going to try these new speed paint markers from the Army Painter. Because what we have is a really cool suit here that we just haven't looted yet. And we want to see how these things work. Not just for regular hobbyists, but also for the grots. Because getting your grots to paint is a little hard. So, let's go get into it. Alright, so what we've got are a selection of minis. I've got my looted knob on Smash-A-Squig. I've got a Dari Wave Serpent. And we've got our Tau Battlesuit. And the reason why we're using all these is they are primed white. And these speed paint markers do require white. So, let's pop these open and go from there. Now, I've never used anything quite like this, not any kind of like paint marker. So this is brand new for me and the grot. So here's all the colors we've got. And here is the... Oh wow, that's all the colors you can get. Check that out, grot. And then this is our how to use. So here we go. So this is where you start. You got to prime your miniature with a light color. You want like a white, a beige, a light gray. But basically the brighter the undercoat, the better the paint's going to show through because it is semi-transparent. Then you're going to insert the tip into the top of the cap. Push and hold to let the paint flow into the tip. And then apply the paint to your miniature simply by starting with the lightest color. Let the speed paint fully dry before painting over it. And then it shows you how to replace the tips in the marker because it does come with replacement tips in here, right here. They give you a whole little bottle of replacement tips. So we are going to load up a marker and get trying. All right, Grot, what color do you want? Here's the colors we have. Because your army's colors are what? White, black, and red, right? So maybe start with the red one? I mean, the red ones do go faster.
I'm going to do black.
You're going to do the black? All right, let's load it up. So you got to take the cap off here.
You don't help with Big Mac?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think I need some help with this. I am still busted. Hey, good job. Look at that. It's good to have ground on. All right, we need the cap. All right, turn it upside down, and then it says, here's our instructions there. Insert the tip into the top of the cap. Push and hold to let the paint flow into the tip. So just push and hold. Oh, hey, dude, you can see the paint coming down. Oh, that's really cool. We're going to have to move the camera for the next one.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That's kind of satisfying.
Right?
Dude.
All right, so we'll move the camera for the second one so you guys can see. But literally, you're watching the paint flow down the tip and get, like it's flowing all the way down through here. We've got to get it all the way into the tip for it to work. And then you just use it literally like a marker.
Oh my god.
Isn't that exciting?
I could watch this for hours, bro.
So I know the first load up is the hardest and takes the longest, but once you're loaded up, it's supposed to keep going relatively easy. So make sure. Yeah. So check that out. We have a fully loaded tip. So actually I'll give this a go right on here just so we can see. Oh yeah, you literally, it's kind of like a combination between a paintbrush and a marker. Okay, all right, Grot, black one is set for you. I'll hand you that, and I'm gonna get color going and reset the camera here. All right, I'm gonna try the silver. So here we are, inserting the tip in, and you can see the paint flowing right down already where the white is turning dark. And once we get it all the way to the tip, then it's fully charged and ready to go. we can start using the silver. Now the instructions do say to start with the lightest color, so of course the grot picked black. But we'll see how it works. Luckily the stuff on his models are pretty well solid colored. Ooh. There you go. You can see one painted by brush there, white, red, and black with a little bit of blue. Always good to have reference and source material out in front of you while you're painting to make sure you're following your paint scheme. And it looks like I am fully charged with silver. Check that out. Okay. All right, we are going to start with the silver. We've got these weapons here, so we'll get the weapons silver. Now, I've been told that this marker is supposed to be good for doing like the rivets, like on the battle wagon I was doing. And yeah, it does appear to actually do that really well. I will grab that maybe here in a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm going to do the whole weapon here. See how that goes. Now, this particular model is a zenithal undercoat. You can see it's black and white. So we've got a gradient on it. So I'm really interested to see if that gradient shows through the paint from the marker at all, or if it just like totally covers it up, or if it just looks like kind of randomly dark. So we shall see. Right now, it's kind of looking just straight silver. Get the bottom here.
Looking good, old Big Mac.
Thanks, Grot. How's yours coming?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. First started out with blue, so there's a little spots I could find was blue.
Well, that's all right. It's our first time learning, and you know what the great thing is? If we screw up too bad, we can always reprime the model and try again.
Hey, true.
It's the great thing about paint. You can always add more paint. Do you think this is easier or harder than using a paintbrush?
Honestly, a lot easier.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think you...
I was surprised of how well this is working.
Like you might paint an entire army with markers?
Maybe not an entire army. Maybe for like the bigger spaces, use some paint.
Oh, okay, but like use this for the details?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like some really small spaces. Because for the towers, there's kind of a lot of enclosed spaces.
Yeah, it's hard to get the marker tip kind of into certain spaces, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm running into that too because my Tyranid guy here's got great big wings that are kind of covering up a lot of the area I need to paint. And it's hard to get this entire marker in there. So maybe this is better suited for models that are more open or sub-assemblies. Yeah, he's wearing this chainmail too, so let's see how that works. Can I like...
Oh, he is?
Pseudo dry brush? No. It sinks right down into the holes of the chainmail right away. You can't really dry brush with this at all. It is a much more wet coat than that. Okay, but still, I'm liking what it's doing so far.
Yeah, so far. Hey, it does the shaky thing.
Yeah, that's how you get more paint in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And if there's not paint in the tip, you gotta put it back in the lid upside down, like how when we loaded it up in the first place. But that's only if there's no paint coming out of it. If there's still paint coming out of the tip, you're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. All right, well, I've done quite a bit of silver things on this model, and it's kind of hard to tell because the white and black undercoat kind of matches the same tone value as the silver, but in person, the silver area is more glossy and metallic. There's definitely tide lines to this, So I'd watch out with like wiping over and over again. Now I'm curious how well this goes over black too, which is why I grabbed this out of my parts bin, because this does have a black prime too. Like, does this silver have enough gumption to actually cover the black? And I would say that it does actually quite nicely. It's almost like using a Malletile liquid chrome pen, even though it's not actually chrome like that is. That does a pretty darn good job. Try this side. But I tell you what, when you find an area that it's good at, such as this little engine vent right here, it is so fast.
No.
So much faster than than using a paintbrush.
Like under enclosed spaces is really easy too. Like see.
Oh, all right. All right, we've charged up the blue to show you kind of a better color on here. And again, I'm going to try it on the Zenithal primed thing. So we're going to paint some blue on this armor because all of my looted kit bashes for my Orc army are going to be Death Skulls and not my regular Evil Sons.
I'm not evil.
No, that's the clan name.
I know.
Like how Best Grot's Space Marines are Ultramarines, but there's all sorts of different chapters.
I know. Like nothing to do.
So it does great big areas like these shoulder pads really easily. You just kind of have to watch out for, again, the tide lines and the going over the same spot too many times. But that blue is actually looking quite nice on there. Let's see where else I want to paint blue on him. What I'll do is boxing gloves in blue. That seems reasonable.
Oh.
Yeah, he's wearing these gloves that are kind of like boxing gloves.
It's like a metal.
So the flat part is wide enough to get nice big strokes, but the tip is small enough that you actually can get really kind of super in there and detailed relatively easily. I'm actually shocked at how easy these are to use, but also like how good they are, legit.
Like, holy crap.
And for those of you that didn't watch my video on going to every friendly local game store in my town, I bought these myself at full price. This is not sponsored. This is not anything. I saw them as I was checking out and went, that looks really cool for me and the grots. I want to give it a try.
And
So you are getting a full, unfiltered, unvarnished opinion on this. With no sway. Army Painter has no idea who I am. I've never worked with them before. I do buy their stuff. I like their brushes.
Where did you find these, Big Mac?
These particular ones were at Contrarians Games. But I'm sure retailers everywhere sell them. Okay. So maybe do the front of his black armor here in the blue. Try to get into these tighter spaces and see how that works. All right, so that's a little bit harder. Getting into those, like this particular conversion is especially hard because you've got these wings like wrapping around him.
Mm-hmm.
So getting all the way into him is a little challenging. But basically, if you can get the marker in there, you can make it happen. And it looks all right. That's what the blue looks like. Yep.
This is the black that I have done so far.
And you've never used these before, right?
I think it's really good.
Yeah, like look at how he got the detail here in the like antenna things, and then like on the leg armor and the shoulder pad armor there.
Yeah.
And that's just a grot doing it, guys.
Yeah. Golden Big Mac, you should see his.
Alright, so now I've loaded up bone. The little sit rep on the blue, I put some blue on a bigger panel here to just kind of see how it lays down on a flat panel. We'll check in with that as it dries. But yeah, here's where we're at. I'm going to put bone on this now because there is some bony things on it. So I imagine this might not work as well because the zenithal on here is more dark than light. And this is a pretty light color, it looks like.
Sometimes you can use the liquidy stuff to your advantage. Because right here on these wires,
come over more.
Right here on these wires, I kind of like did a little bit, then let it drip down. So you can,
like into the gaps between the wires?
Yeah.
Very smart. I don't know how I feel about the bone ones so much. But that could just be because of this prime I've got on this particular model. Just kind of not being bright enough for it. Because yeah, like look at the darker side of the helmet there, or the head knife thing versus the lighter side. But even the lighter side I don't think looks great. But again, that could be the primer. So let's try this thing. So these are supposed to be made of wraithbone, right? They are all white, so we'll just paint these. Well, alright, that's bone. Alright, sit rep. Here is Grot's battlesuit now with the blue all done on it. You can see he's able to get these little sensors in here, like on the shield and in the helmet. Really, really good job. Good looking in there. And now he's going to switch to the red. And while he is doing the red, I have got the hardened leather. So we're going to see what the leather looks like. Being darker than the bone, I'm hoping that it works a little better. Oh yeah. Okay, so the more saturated colors are definitely better. I like that a lot more than the bone. At least on zenithal. Yeah, realistically, that looks pretty darn good. Let's do the Grot's pants. Those are probably leather.
Huh? Oh.
Not you, this Grot. Not sure what that thing is hanging off of his belt, but you know what? We're going to paint it brown.
Probably somebody's wallet they stole.
It is definitely something they stole. He is a dirty, dirty death skull. That's what they do. They loot things.
My battlesuit will not be looted.
I don't know. It's got some blue on there. That means it's ours. Alright, so playing around with the leather a little bit, I painted over something that I'd already painted silver. And it looks like you might be able to see a little bit of the metallic poking through, but not much. So it'll be interesting to see how that dries. I'm also wondering how this might blend with the bone color. Try some patented Tyranid striations on here. So that the tips really aren't fine enough to do like freehanding or anything like that. Interesting. So yeah, I wouldn't use this for like freehanding replacement. But that being said, they do seem to work well enough for a lot of these details. All right, let's see it on the white. So, oh yeah, an update on the white. So I put some red on here to see what that did. And then I tried doing some freehand flames like my BenBam that is all flamed, and like I can't get the tip small enough to really do a good job. Trying again here. The lightest amount of barely breathing on it, you can kind of get there. But honestly, this is easier with a brush than with the marker. I would not do complicated freehand with the marker. But the big flat panels, honestly, not looking too bad. There's the blue. It is dry now. It's a little splorchy. But again, this might not be the best primer job. And this primer on this thing is probably 20 years old at this point. But you know what? I gotta say, so far I am impressed. Hey, you! Yeah, you there, watching the video. You want to have the same drip old Big Mac wears? You need to check out our merch store at theredonesgofaster.com, where you can get our cool new Red Squig watch beanie. Or Red Squig the baseball cap. Not to mention the Red Squig shirt. We also have our original water bottle in metal. And of course the dirty paint water mug too. But even more fun is the Go Faster design from BenBam, available in black, fun colors, and even the full color hoodie style. Get yours all today at theredonesgofaster.com. All right, back to the video. All right, now it's time to try the green, because green is best. And this green is even called orc skin. So we will put it on the orc faces and skin parts and see what it ends up looking like, how it goes.
Wow. I mean, just wow.
Yeah.
It hasn't captivated though. It's been like 15 minutes.
Yeah, Favorite Grot is pretty impressed with them. I've already had requests to get the entire set. All right, trying to do his fingers. That's a little fiddly, painting at Grot's fingers. But looks like we got it done. And I gotta say, this green actually looks really good. I like how this is looking so far. It is time for a grand reveal. This Tau battlesuit was painted with those speed paint markers by a 10-year-old grot. Just now. We spent what? Maybe 45 minutes on this total. That includes like filming and filling up the markers and like fiddling around. But how was it for you?
It was pretty well. It was pretty good.
Yeah? Would you use more of these? Would you paint more guys now with markers than with brushes?
Honestly, probably.
All right. Hey, let's show them your painted one side by side with the marker one. Okay, so check this out. The one on the right side of your screen, the Cold Star Commander, was painted by brush, and the one on the left side of your screen was painted by marker. Now, obviously, the colors are different. What I want you to look at is like what he could do with the paintbrush. All right, like look at those close-ups versus what he can do with the marker.
Honestly, I like the brushes. I mean, not the brushes, the markers better.
You like the markers better?
Like, if I had to choose one to use the rest of my life, I would probably go for some markers.
Okay. Yeah, I think that result, you know, especially at tabletop level, really speaks for itself. All right, and as for the grand reveal of my junk, here is what that blued up looking like. Here's some green on something that's a stone. I put a couple of layers on it to try to get it to like get some depth. Didn't really do much. The red here is straight red, and then right here I added orange on top of the red, and then right here is just orange by itself. There is no difference in here at all. You cannot layer a lighter color on top of the darker color at all. You can, however, layer a darker color on top of a lighter color to get a shade. So like that's the brown with a little bit swipe of green on it. I tried doing the gray up here on these grills on the black, the way I did the silver, it did not show. You literally cannot tell that any gray was done. So yeah, you really, really, really do need a light colored undercoat for it to work through. But here's the gray on the white, and in fact, I ended up doing some panel lines with the gray that you can see, and that worked okay. I did have to like rub some over spillage, I guess you would call it, off. That wasn't working out so great. Over here, so I tried some yellow, and then I tried blending with the orange while it's still wet. That did not work at all. By all means, follow the instructions. When they say don't like paint again until it's dry, they mean it. You end up with this mess. But if you wait for it to dry, like these flames here, you can actually kind of layer up and play around with it. I kept trying to like get a nice clean edge for freehanding, but just wasn't able to do it. But that might be something that comes with time. But yeah, that was the playing around. Now let me show you the mini. Now yes, I did break it on purpose because I was tired of trying to get in there. Here is our orc, and you can see I've got blue armor on him. His face is green. His mouth is red. I've got gray and silver on a lot of things. I've got brown on a lot of things. I did put a little bit of the orange on top of the leather brown. That worked out all right. So yeah, it looks well enough. And then here is our little flying creature thingy. You can see the grot on there looking pretty decent. The tongue looking decent. I did not paint him at all because there was no purple. But I did do his mechanical leg, you can see back there, and that looks pretty good. So overall, I'd say pretty good. All right, that is going to do it for our review of the Army Painter Speedpaint 2.0 marker set. I think it was, like I said, about 55 bucks or something like that. You know, again, paid full retail. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I've never used anything like this before, except for, like I said, like a Molotov liquid chrome pen, which are very different. This is much more like a felt tip pen that paint kind of comes out of, and then the paint is a very, very different paint. This is very, very, very opaque. So yeah, never used anything quite like this before. I did like it. I did quite like it. I thought that my little project came out looking pretty decent. I mean, again, honestly, we spent like 45 minutes screwing around with it, but I mean, there's probably only 15 actual minutes of paint time on this model, and it's at least base coated halfway decently in all the areas that I used the paint markers on. I did wish there was a color I was going to be happy with for the Tyranid, but that's okay. Like I said, I did take it apart, and our little orky friend here, he's not bad. So yeah, that was super duper interesting. And then, you know, messing around with the just primed body of that Eldar ship was really cool. Now, I did do a couple more experiments with it. So I came in with the polished silver, went to my terrain set that is primered, the red oxide primer. And yeah, the metal color does show on it, but not great. You do get a little bit of gloss in the light and a little bit of metallic, but it's nothing like a real metallic paint. It's nothing like a true metallic, like not even just like Games Workshop paint, but like real. I use like the Testors metallizers that have like actual metal pieces in them. It's nothing like that, but it does give you, you know, another sheen, kind of like some dull metal. I think it could be really useful for like just random chipping and little marks or whatnot. Running it along the very edge of things could be really interesting too, even though it doesn't really dry brush that great. But if you can manage to catch just the edge, I don't know, I think that there's a lot more potential here for things like terrain and weathering with these outside of just base coats. And finally, a bunch of the viewers did comment that, hey, your battle wagon project here with all the rivets, try using the marker on it. And I was really hesitant because, I mean, you guys saw with the freehanding, the tip just isn't really fine enough. But I did give it a try. All of the rivets here on the front are done by the marker. And you can see there are some where it did just go over. It just blew over and there was nothing I could do about it. But most of them actually did turn out pretty all right. These ones here on the top too are the marker and on the door. And yeah, not too shabby at all. I even went in and I did random metal plate in there and a couple other little pieces, just kind of screwing around with it. I did the rims. In fact, you can see the rims are a slightly different color, silver, than the metal on the tires. Again, just kind of playing around, different panels, just trying it. And I think that there is something there for an extra detail step in your weathering process on top of everything else. And then the colors. So I did want to talk about the colors. We did a little research. They have this starter set with all the colors that I showed you. They've got a much smaller starter set that just has 3 colors that we also showed you on the shopping one. And that's it for right now. But the little pamphlet says that there's 28 total colors coming, and it gives you like which colors those are. And there are going to be more metallic ones. So if anything, picking up the metallic sets I think would be really good for weathering, chipping, and trim work. I could see this being really, really, really useful on like Chaos Beaky trim or stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. Army Painter Speedpaint 2.0 marker. Honest review, these are a 10 out of 10. Even if you don't use them for everything as another tool in your box, they have a lot of use and they can make things go way faster. And if you've got grots, it's a 15 out of 10. He's not even going to come in here and steal anything while I finish filming this because he is so busy painting right now because it is just that exciting and cool. So if you've got somebody that you want to get into painting that is hesitant or isn't being, you know, like feeling a lot of confidence with a brush, get them these markers, man. These could be an excellent gateway into the hobby. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out with us today for another Orktober video. And like we've been doing, we will have another one tomorrow, so I will catch you then. And until then, Warhammer!
Next up, I am going to be painting this custom-made double-barrel machine gun. It's a combo. It's some humans that joins the Tau.
So human auxiliaries?
Yeah, human auxiliaries.
Very cool.
So, yeah, I'm going to be painting this on the squad next.
All right.